In the heart of Colorado, where mountains touch the sky and rivers carve ancient paths, a quiet disaster unfolds. Here, the vastness of wilderness masks a more subtle devastation, a slow unraveling hidden in the shadows of snow-capped peaks and pine-clad valleys. The land is as breathtaking as ever, but inside these hallowed heights, a profound silence has begun to settle, creeping through empty streets and abandoned homes. Once, these mountain towns pulsed with life. Their markets bustled, slopes echoed with laughter, and every sunrise brought new stories to the high country. Now, the wind carries only the whispers of what was. The collapse is not sudden. It is a quiet erosion, a gradual fading of communities shaped by ambition, adventure, and the allure of the alpine. Today, we journey across these shifting landscapes, 10 mountain towns where fortunes have faltered, dreams have dimmed, and the true cost of paradise is laid bare. Aspen, once the glimmering jewel of the Rockies, now wears a mantle of stillness. Luxury homes, built as sanctuaries for the affluent, stand in eerie quiet, their windows reflecting only the pale light of dawn. Streets that once thrummed with the footsteps of visitors and locals alike now yield to the hush of absence, the very air heavy with memories. Along the famous avenues, boutiques and cafes sit shuttered, their interiors darkened. The laughter and music that once spilled into the night have faded, leaving behind a vacuum that no wealth can fill. The grandeur of the landscape endures, but within it, the soul of Aspen flickers, uncertain against the growing shadow of vacancy. It is here that the paradox of prosperity reveals its cost. The town's heartbeat, once driven by a vibrant community, now slows beneath the weight of empty luxury. Aspen's silence is not peace, but a poignant reminder of what can be lost when the dream outpaces reality. Telluride's Box Canyon cradles a town that once thrived on celebration, a place renowned for its festivals, music, and mountain revelry. But now, the streets are subdued, the slopes untouched save for the drifting snow. Storefronts that once beckoned with color and activity are closed, their windows clouded, their signs faded with neglect. The chairlifts dangle motionless against the sky, swinging gently in the cold breeze. The plaza, once alive with dancers and stargazers, is now a stage for silence. The quiet here is not the quiet of contentment, but of anticipation, each corner holding its breath, waiting for a revival that may never come. This is the paradox of Telluride. A place built on gathering now finds itself fractured, its communal pulse stilled by forces far beyond its control. Here the beauty is unbroken, but the spirit is in suspense, caught between memory and uncertainty. Breckenridge, with its iconic chalets and winding lanes, was once a haven for laughter and light. Now, as dusk settles, abandoned homes cast long shadows across the snow, their decks empty, their fireplaces cold. The echoes of joy linger in the mountain air, but they are fading, replaced by a sense of loss that deepens with every silent night. The ski runs, once carved by generations of adventurers, now bear only the imprint of wind and drifting snow. Children's laughter, once a familiar melody in these hills, is gone, replaced by the soft creak of empty swings and the distant call of a jay. In Breckenridge, the collapse is felt most in what is missing. The chalets, built for gatherings, now stand as monuments to absence, their very architecture a reminder of dreams deferred. Here, the beauty of the mountains remains, but the warmth of community has grown faint. Crested Butte sits at the edge of wilderness, hemmed in by peaks and painted skies. Once, it was a haven for artists and adventurers, drawn by the promise of wild beauty and belonging. Now, the town streets are lined with real estate signs, their numbers growing as residents dwindle. The vibrant murals and historic facades hint at the town's creative soul, but each passing day, the sense of isolation deepens. The rhythm of life has slowed. The laughter and music from local haunts have been replaced by the quiet shuffle of those who remain, their resilience tested by the weight of uncertainty. In Crested Butte, community has become a memory to defend. The landscape, though unchanged, now frames a story of survival, one where hope clings to the familiar, and each empty home is a testament to the fragility of belonging in the high country. Vail, long synonymous with winter luxury, now faces an unfamiliar chill, not of the mountain wind, but of uncertainty. The grand resorts and condos that once pulsed with holidaymakers now stand largely empty, their lights flickering in the dusk. Each building, a monument to dreams of escape, now shelters only silence. The sprawling plazas and winding walkways, once filled with the clatter of skis and the buzz of a après-ski revelry, are hushed. Behind closed doors, the uncertainty grows. Will the next season bring a return, or will these spaces remain frozen in time? Residents and workers, once the backbone of the community, have drifted away, unable to weather the storm of rising costs and vanishing opportunity. Vail's story is one of suspense, a suspended breath caught between the memory of prosperity and the specter of continued decline. The snow falls as ever, but beneath its beauty, the uncertainty lingers. Steamboat Springs, famed for its hot springs and legendary powder, now finds itself unraveling at the seams. Here, the forces of change are slow, almost imperceptible, but relentless. Prices soar beyond the reach of those who once called this place home. Families, teachers, and workers slipping away, replaced by empty homes and silent neighborhoods. The community, once tightly woven, is fraying. The local market, once a place for chance meetings and laughter, is now quieter, the faces less familiar. The sense of belonging that anchored generations is fading, swept away by tides of speculation and exclusion. In Steamboat Springs, collapse is not dramatic but persistent. A slow erosion marked by the vanishing of the everyday. The mountains still rise in majesty, but below, the bonds that made this place a home grow weaker, thread by thread. Leadville, perched high above the valley floor, wears its history like a faded crown. Once a bustling mining town, its streets now echo with the footsteps of ghosts, reminders of prosperity lost and hope diminished. The grand facades of old saloons and hotels stand, weathered and worn, facing empty sidewalks. The past lingers in every boarded window and rusted sign. Once, these streets were alive with miners and merchants, their voices rising above the clatter of industry. Now, the silence is broken only by the wind, whistling through alleys where laughter once rang. Leadville's collapse is haunted by memory. The relics of success remain, but the lifeblood of community has ebbed away. Here, prosperity is a legend told in whispers, and the present is shaped by the shadows of what once was. Silverton clings to the steep slopes of its valley, a town forever on the edge, of wilderness, of hope, and of hardship. The railroad tracks that once brought fortune now deliver only echoes, their steel lines slicing through a landscape of uncertainty. Storefronts flicker between open and closed, their fates as unpredictable as the weather. The community spirit is tested daily, each resident making a quiet calculation, to stay and weather the storm or to seek stability elsewhere. The mountains offer beauty, but also isolation, and the delicate balance between hope and hardship tips with every passing season. In Silverton, the future is never assured. The town endures, not through certainty, but through resilience. A fragile determination that persists even as the forces of collapse gather at the edge of the valley. Salida, nestled beside a rushing river, has long been a haven for artists and adventurers, drawn by the freedom of the high country and the promise of creative community. Now, the struggle to stay is written on every corner as rising costs force old friends to part and dreams are put on hold. The galleries and studios, once alive with inspiration, now face an uncertain future. Local haunts, where stories were told and friendships forged, are quieter, their tables empty. Each day, the challenge of holding on to this mountain haven grows steeper, the spirit of Salida tested by forces beyond its control. Yet in the face of collapse, a fierce determination remains. Artists, dreamers, and locals cling to their place in the mountains, refusing to let go of the magic that first drew them here. In Salida, struggle is not just survival, it is a quiet act of defiance against the tide. Estes Park, gateway to the wilderness, sits at the edge of grandeur and solitude. Once, its streets bustled with visitors, drawn to the promise of adventure and the majesty of the Rockies. Now, as the crowds thin and the lights dim, a new silence settles over the town. A silence born not of peace, but of lost opportunity. The hotels and lodges, once filled with travelers' laughter, now stand half-occupied, their halls echoing with the ghosts of seasons past. The shops that once thrived on the flow of wanderers are shuttered, their displays gathering dust beneath the watchful gaze of mountain peaks. Estes Park's beauty remains undimmed, but the energy that once defined it has faded. Here, the collapse is measured in missed chances and the quiet longing for a return to what once was. The town waits, poised between breathtaking vistas and the hush of uncertainty. As the wind whispers through empty streets and rivers flow past silent homes, Colorado's mountain towns remind us, even the most breathtaking places are not immune to collapse. The peaks endure, ancient and unyielding, but the communities nestled within their shadows are as fragile as any living thing. The story of these towns is a story of beauty and loss, of dreams built and quietly undone by forces both seen and unseen. In the hush that falls each evening, there is reflection, a reckoning with what matters most. The collapse of these mountain sanctuaries is not merely a tale of real estate and fortune. It is a deeper meditation on belonging, resilience, and the ways in which we shape, and are shaped by, the land. As day fades and night embraces the Rockies, we are left with a lingering question. Will these towns find renewal, or will their silence become the new language of the high country?